Hello everyone, welcome to part 1 of session 1 of module 6, types of test tools. In this session we will learn about different types of test tools and the classification of different types of test tools. So let's get started. So first of all, let's understand why tool support is required in testing. What is the importance of tools in testing and why you cannot just go ahead and do all the testing manually or without the support of the tools that you use in your day-to-day testing activities. So software testing is time-consuming and tedious activity. So if you are doing software testing for quite a long time, or even if you have started, you would have noticed that software testing is a time-consuming activity. It's not that testing will require very less time to do all the coverage and to certify that the software meets all the requirements and is of better quality. So you need to invest quite a bit of time in testing to make sure that everything is working fine and the quality of the software that you are delivering is fine. So it's a time consuming and tedious activity. Many times you might need to do repetitive tests. So some same tests need to be executed for future builds. So which is most of the regression testing you do such kind of stuff. So in regression testing you have test suite. With every build that you get, you execute those tests again and again with every build that you get, to make sure that none of the new features or new functionality that is implemented in the new build doesn't break the existing functionality. And the other thing in which you do retesting is your when you find a defect and the defect gets fixed and you get a build, and then you execute the same test to retest the defect that you found in previous build. So there are many scenarios wherein you are required to execute tests again and again. So it's most of the time it's kind of repetitive activity in testing. Then tools help to automate repetitive tasks and make regression testing easier. So because of this, repetitive testing or regression testing is required to be executed in each and every build in future builds. The tools that are available in the market, the automation tools, help you to automate these repetitive tasks so that you can execute those tests in future with the help of tool, and you do not have to invest your time executing those tests manually, because if you are executing 100 tests manually, it will take much longer time rather than executing them with the automation tool. So tools help you to automate those tests so that you can execute them with the help of tools in future. Then tools help to do test and defect management, which in turn helps to measure software quality. So it's not only that automation tools are important in the overall testing life cycle. There are many different kind of tools and tool support that you use, that you take in your software testing life cycle. So like defect management, test management. So there are a whole bunch of tools available which are used, which in turn help to measure the software quality, how the quality of the software is, of the delivered software is. So these are some of the reasons why tool support is required in testing. Now we'll look at the test tool classification. So there are certain classification based on the feature and functionality provided by the test tools. They are classified in different classifications. So the tools are grouped by the testing activities or the areas that are supported by a set of tools. So based on the testing activities or the areas that are supported by the test tools, you classify them. based on those features and activities. So test tools can be classified in four major types. So you can say single activity test tools, multi-activity, intrusive, and non-intrusive. So single activity tools are the tools which provide very specific and limited functionality, or single point solution or single activity tool. So like defect management tool or defect tracking tool like Bugzilla or Mantis. So Bugzilla and Mantis are totally for doing defect tracking. For you raise a defect, it doesn't support any other functionality. It's just for defect tracking. So Bugzilla and Mantis are single activity tool. Then there are some configuration management tools as well, which just provide the functionality of the configuration management. So single activity tool are the tools which provide very specific and limited functionality. Then there are multi-activity tools. So multi-activity tools are the tools which provide multiple functionality, like the test management tool. So multi-activity tool basically is a set of different features combined in one tool. So like test management tool can provide you test management, can provide you defect tracking and management, can also provide you the requirements tracking and management, requirements management module in it. So like HP ALM, application lifecycle management from HP is a multi-activity tool because it has built-in test management, requirements management, defect management. So everything is built into that HP ALM, and that is why it is a multi-activity tool. Then there are tools which are classified as intrusive tools. Intrusive tools are the tools which can affect the test outcome. So intrusive tools are the automation tools, because automation tools interfere with the coding structure and how the software is being structured. So they interact with they interfere with the code that is being tested. So because of that, they are known as intrusive tools. So for example, the performance tool or automation tool or code coverage tool, they inject some kind of for example, code coverage tool does an instrumentation of the existing code. So it modifies an existing code a bit to figure out what kind of coverage is being attained or achieved by the existing test sets. Similarly, with the automation and performance testing tool, they are intrusive in nature. They interfere with the code in order to test, in order to provide you the results. So these kind of tools, automation tools or performance tools or code coverage tools, are intrusive in nature. Then there are non-intrusive tools which are classified as non-intrusive. So any tool like defect management, test management, this Bugzilla or HP ALM or rational team concert. So these are kind of a rational quality manager, whichever tools do not interfere with the code are known as non-intrusive. So Mantis, Bugzilla, your HP ALM, the test management and defect management tools can be classified as non-intrusive tools. Then let's go ahead and see the types of test tools. So tools for management of testing and tests. So that's the first type of test tools that we'll discuss. So any tool for management of testing and tests will be classified as management tools for management of testing. So there are some tools which fall into this category. There are test management tools, requirements management tools, incident management tools, or configuration management tools. So these are some tools that lie into tools for management of testing and test category. Then the other category is tool support for static testing. So any tool which supports static testing will lie in this category. So what are the tools that support static testing? So like review process support tools, or static analysis tools, or modeling tools. The D in front of these tools mentioned against static analysis and modeling tools means that these tools are mostly used by developers. These are not used by testers. So we have covered most of the tools in different classification, so that you are aware what are different tools used in overall software development lifecycle. Most of them are used by developers, some of them are used by testers, and business analysts, project managers. So there is a whole lot of tools that we'll discuss in this session. Then there is another classification, tool support for test specification. So in this category lies test design tools and test data preparation tools. Then the other tools are tool support for test execution and logging. So the tool which help you to support test execution and logging are test execution tools, test harness or unit test framework tools, which are mostly used by developers. Then there are test comparators, which compare your actual and expected and actual results. Then coverage measurement tools, which are used by developers. Then security tools are also there, which support your test execution and logging. Then the other is tool support for performance and monitoring. These are the tools which help you to figure out the performance and monitoring, so like the performance of the application or the software. So these are like dynamic analysis tools or monitoring tools. And finally, tool support for any specific application area, or tool support using other tools. So it's not only that you use only testing tool, there are many other tools which are used by other people, which are not specifically a testing tool, but they are really helpful in your testing in your day-to-day testing activities. So that is why we have covered all different types of tools here.